All right, let's go through your WWE 2K topics from the community. The first one comes from Kadar. Kadar says the AI needs to stop getting right back up after doing a huge spot with the instant recovery. Yeah, the AI needs a lot of help with a lot of things, Kadar. The last patch did fix some stuff, but instant recovery, totally noticed the same thing. Even when I adjust a lot of the sliders, I feel like the thing just never clicks properly. They get up a lot. Like, I'll put on hard mode, legendary, and I will tweak those sliders around left and right. I still find that it's a problem. Things with like that and like even like, I don't know, rolling out of the ring, like I know we can adjust that, but it's still not right. Things are still messed up with the AI. Gaddafi says a bunch of nice things at first. Thanks, Gaddafi. My question is, do you think the gap between DLC packs will be filled with content or fixes? And do you think that we will be seeing familiar move sets and finishers in the Pat McAfee pack and will allow creators to make TNA or AEW wrestlers because that's what I do and I care about? I think that the gap between the DLCs will not really be filled with extra content. I think we will get the patches as we normally do, like where we get 2 a month. Usually the beginning of the month is a small patch, and then around the DLC time is the bigger patch. I think that they'll stick with that. I would love it if they introduce more patches and updates as we go between those gaps, because yes, after the pack, then we're waiting to like September, right? Mid-September for the next DLC. That's a long time to wait, and I don't want them to do that. Within the DLC packs, what I hope is that they do more what they did with the ECW pack and the megaphone in the last pack, where they introduced those things, those extra weapons, couple extra moves, and they do those things. I think Will Ospreay's finisher was also added in, or they found it in the files and then it was like patched out, so it's not in there yet. So it might be something also that is going to come. I would love them to add more weapons. I would love for them to add in updated Raw and SmackDown arenas of 2024, just patch those into the game already, because yeah, we have those long gaps in the DLC, and I think that players could really benefit from that when you're looking at a really long stretch. I doubt it though. I don't think it's something they would do. Spider-Man Official is a great question. Before we do that though, guys, I do want to thank today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Royal 888. Royal 888 is partnering up with VIP Bets for sports betting platform, and they are able to take online sports betting to the next level, offering wages for a large variety of sports and different interests. So if you are somebody that enjoys things like myself, where it's MMA, boxing, esports, those betting options are available to you to take advantage of. The website is intuitive, easy to use, and great for you to be able to access for different things that you're interested in, such as the various viewing options under the live events. There's pre-match sections, and allows you to manage all of your bets that you have placed. The Royal 888 online casino is a lot of fun as well. For somebody like myself, I actually do enjoy going over to the casinos and being able to play a couple of slot machines or play a game of poker. Blackjack is actually one of my personal favorites, but I'm not very good at it. But Royal 888 does a great job by having a variety of gambling options available to you all on their website. On top of the sports betting, they offer a variety of the casino games, including the slots, the poker, baccarat, blackjack, and more. What's also really cool is that they take it a step further and they allow these casino games available virtually through live streams. What's really cool too is that for new users like yourself, you sign up and you'll be able to get a first time deposit bonus. This is of 100% matching the user's deposit of up to $1,000. The platform's available across different countries as well. Canada, New Zealand, Ireland, for example. The platform holds licenses with both the Kanawaka Gaming Commission and Kurikeiko. All players must be 18 years of age or older to play. If you're interested, check out the link in the description for Royal 888. Please play responsibly and enjoy some online play. So Spider-Man Unofficial says, do you think that 2K25 will have TNA DLC, for example, Joe Hendry? I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
But Joe Hendry, Jordan Grace, I think it's very possible, it's our best shot to be able to get those wrestlers in 2K25. I think they could do an Outsiders pack, a TNA pack, something like that. It would be so awesome. I know that they're not technically contracted to WWE. It is some kind of partnership in there. WWE may not want, because it's WWE's decision, what they do with the licenses and all of that. They may not want them in their video game because maybe they don't know if they're going to be officially around. But at this stage, it'd be really cool if they did it. And I think it's what fans would be hoping for. You give us that Forbidden Door pack that players have always wanted. I mean, heck, you could put in Dolph Ziggler back into the game. See, that's the thing. It gets very interesting if with this deal with TNA and WWE where there's a trade of talent. But the other one, guys, that I really hope that they would do, the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys are in TNA. They're one door away from getting over to NXT. It may actually happen. You never know. We might see Hardy Boys back in WWE just showing up in NXT for a few weeks. It would pop a huge rating. Fans would be ecstatic to see them. They could put over some younger talent in NXT. Be really cool. And then because they're so close back to WWE, get them in the Hall of Fame and put them into the Hall of Fame. It's a great time to do it. And you could get them into WWE 2K25. And I know 2K would love to be able to just sell infinite DLC. Like everyone would say, put them in the base game. But hey, if they're contracted to TNA and WWE and 2K do a TNA pack, you could do the Hardy Boys, Jordan Grace, and Joe Hendry, and everyone believes in that. Negan Mox says, do you think we will see the new Bloodline members and all of the Wyatt 6 members in 2K25 on disc, or do you think some will be DLC? I think for new Bloodline, it's all DLC, brother. I think that you're gonna get Tama Tonga Loa and Jacob Fatu DLC in a Bloodline pack. Like, come on, you could make that happen so easily. It's a slam dunk. No, I don't think they'd be on the base game. They're brand new wrestlers to WWE, and it's a way, like, yeah, they should be on the disc, like everyone should be, but it's a world of DLC and they need content and they want people to get the season pass. So how do you do that? You entice them with 3 members of the Bloodline, you put them in there. The good thing is, and the good news is, that the new Bloodline members, all 3 of them, have debuted in WWE early on. So like, it's in the 2K25 is full well in development now, and they can do the scans up until, like, usually it's around the Royal Rumble is almost the cutoff to get people in. If they're going to use them, 100% see them as DLC. On that DLC note, I know there was an interview with Fightful where Jordan Grace talked about how she did motion capture for 2K25, I believe for like Chelsea Green and others in the My Rise part of the game. There's a full interview on that where she mentioned it. Doesn't mean that she is in the game, but she did the motion capture for 2K25 to kind of like, come on, put Jordan Grace in there too. So Bloodline, yes, I do think that they would be DLC. Get all 3 members, you get their My Faction cards, you get a new Paul Heyman My Faction card where he's all like gray and looks really awful. And then you know what you do to round that out? Because usually the DLCs are 5. You add in the Wild Samoans and do that, and then you have a really true Bloodline DLC. I think that would be just awesome. Now, the other one we mentioned was Wyatt 6. That one's a little trickier to me because they haven't wrestled yet, and they might not. Bo Dallas is very interesting where he's being Bo, and then he's also Uncle Howdy. I think we get a refresh of Uncle Howdy. I think we have the updated looking Uncle Howdy, so I think that would be in the game. I don't think that would be DLC, nor do I think it should, because he's been DLC, then he's been in the game. You can't just go the other way and say, okay, he's now going to be a DLC character. But they could make Bo Dallas. Oh, I say that, and then I'm like, you know what? They would totally do it. They would say, here's updated Bo Dallas, updated Uncle Howdy, and they're going to be DLC characters together. You give us a Wyatt 6 pack. I really think they could do it. It'd be kind of an easy, cheap kind of way of getting DLC out because Nikki Cross is Nikki Cross with just a whole new look. So it's just the attire, and everybody else, Joe Gacy and so on. So it's all of them. You just give them all the attires. We don't know how they're going to wrestle either. That's the other thing. But yeah, they can always update their movesets. I think that they could definitely be DLC. Varian Nash says, I know it's probably unlikely, but do you ever think there will be a point where 2K will ever forego DLC packs like how this year's are spread out and just update the roster like Madden or NBA does to get accuracy of the rosters? My answer to that is no, unfortunately. I think it's just too much of a moneymaker, and you'd have to have a whole new way, in my opinion, of putting the game together. So not doing an annualized release. I think then 2K would have to do like, here's the game, comes out every couple of years, and you get DLCs and updates and patches and new modes and match types and so on across the board for a couple of years. But I think the annualized approach, it makes 2K too much money. That's why Madden is annualized. That's why NBA 2K is annualized. And would they update though, like wrestlers during the year, like 2K25? Would they update it if someone got a new look and a new beard. No, I think that's what community creations is for, so that players can try, and nowadays especially, they can do more modifications that way and change wrestlers if they got a new goatee, longer hair, shorter hair. But I do think 2K should make it more of a priority to do those things when they can. Now, we do see some of it. We see some of it when, like, there's new Titantrons, there's a new theme song, and sometimes they do it. I just wish it was like a standard priority of like, hey, if these main top wrestlers get a new theme song, like Braun Breaker got a brand new theme. And I think we're still in the middle of the dev cycle. It's a great example of this. I think that like the next month, they should turn around and say, oh, Braun got a new theme, add in his new theme song, because it's a file, guys. Like, it's an audio track. Just update it. Get the license agreement from WWE, which you already have, and then just be like, cool, we're gonna update Braun Breaker's theme. That keeps things rejuvenated and keeps it alive and keeps it fresh, knowing that the wrestlers look fresh, sound. It's all the presentation in there. So they could do it. Would they go in and refresh every character when they got longer hair, shorter hair? No, I don't think they would. We got more questions on here, but I did want to make one point, guys. We do have a second channel for Assemble. I know, more content, right? But it's called Assemble Wrestling, and it would mean a lot if you would go and just check it out in the link below in the description. We cover WWE topics, we go in depth, we give the reviews for the PLEs and lots of stuff like that. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and it would be amazing if the 2K community here would support us over there as well. Thank you very much. Tom Santamaria says, do you think all Persona cards will eventually end up on the card market? If so, do you think the amount they'll be charging will become a bit more reasonable, because the pricing is insane? It is insane. I don't like it. $40 for Becky Lynch, get out of town. Do I think they eventually come? Yeah. I think by the time you get to like November, December as a prediction, you see all of those Persona cards, or most of them, added into the card market. Why they did Becky and Chad right after they were released and not retroactive go back and be like, here's Trick Williams and Seth Rollins Shield version, like players have wanted since day one. I don't know why those are not in there. Like, it's this weird cherry picking of things, or they forget. I don't know what it is. But yes, I 100% wish that they would go in and hope that by November, December, I could see them putting in all of the Persona cards in there. Reduced pricing, like 15, 20 bucks. And even that is way too aggressive. But if Seth Rollins Shield was 10 bucks, I might buy it. I'd like it. Becky and Chad for $30, $40? No. It's not happening. Plus, you can't modify the attires, you can't change anything, and they don't even have their theme songs that are different. Like, and the Titantrons, like, it's nothing. So there's not enough value for me. They have to make it really cheap. And they've kind of done this, like tested it last year remember when Bad Bunny came out and it was a different version of him, but it was the same Tron, same music. It was just this, that was like a Persona card basically. And they tested it for 10 bucks. Now it's like, okay, that worked or didn't, so we're going to charge everyone 40 bucks for these. Like, just let me buy them for $5. That's all I'm asking for. Typical Teenager says, I hope you read this. I am reading it. Will 2K add tournaments and or #1 contender matches in universe mode? Oh my goodness, my friend. Well, that is something we definitely need across the board. Why, oh why, has it been so long since we've had King of the Ring and tournaments in universe mode? Help me out. I'm too old and dumb to know. When was King of the Ring available in SmackDown vs. Raw or 2K? I feel like 2011 is the answer, but I could be way wrong. I don't know anything. So whenever the last time was, we had it. We've had it. We've had it. We've had it. We've had tournaments. We've had King of the Ring in universe mode. Bring it back. It's insane. Every year, it's one of the first things I do, honestly. When I open up universe mode, I try to see what matches are available, and then I'm like, oh, I can't do a tournament again. We have King of the Ring PLE for years now on WWE TV. It's a thing. Tournaments are a thing in wrestling. Let us do it in the free sandbox mode, the free mode of universe mode. It's supposed to be the sandbox where you do everything except for tournaments for some reason, and it's a staple of WWE. I understand the complexity of trying to do like cutscenes and action items relating to a tournament, but how can I not set up a King of the Ring PLE every year? How do I not just have a full tournament running on Raw where I then go and it's going to be for the championship at the very end? Like, come on, that adds so much layers of fun to your game. We crown a new champion that night. Like, that stuff keeps the game going, makes it more fun. #1 contendership matches 100% need to be a thing. WWE does it. Wrestling has #1 contendership matches, and I think that should be in the game, honestly, as a match type. If you just put it in as a match type, that if they win it, then they will go and spike up in the rankings and the power rankings, and they'll be #1 by default. Treat it like, in terms of the mechanics, like a Money in the Bank, in that now they are #1 contender and they hold that title, you know what I mean, under their name, that they are the new #1 contender based on the division they're in. And then that way you can go and have a title match, but especially in universe mode, just have it tied in with action items. So have a proper #1 contendership match to select as a match type in universe, and then I go and spike up the rankings, and it auto does a rivalry action where and puts me in the rivalry with the champion of that division. So then I could be in the world title division, challenging for that in the rivalry, and you can have fun because 2K likes their action item list thingies. Keep that going. But then if I win the #1 contendership match, then I can be allowed to do that respective action item related to #1 contender, and I get a cutscene out of it. That would be fun. I definitely want that to happen. I don't think it will. Joe Chops says, might be off topic, oh no, but he says, but outside of wrestling games, what are some of your other all-time favorite video games? It's an excellent question. Here's a funny thing. I don't always play wrestling games. It might seem like I'm here all day just doing nothing but button mashing and just playing 2K. I like other games, but fan favorites of all time? I mean, I grew up with NES, I old guy. So I grew up with NES and Super NES and beyond that. So I have a ton of favorites, and I like superhero stuff in those games. It's all over the place. Off the top of my head, all right, Black Ops 2 I think is phenomenal. Modern Warfare 2, Spider-Man PS4, then remastered. I love Spider-Man, so I love that game. Maximum Carnage on SNES. There you go. No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000. And WWF Attitude sucked, but it's part of my childhood, so I love WWF Attitude, as horrible as it is, but fond memories of that. Go look at the match list for Attitude. Yeah, it's pretty good. Other than that, Super Mario World, like Super Mario World, Mario 3, and modern stuff, more modern stuff. Last of Us 1, Part 1, Uncharted, the whole thing from 1 to 4, mostly 1, 2, and 3. Uncharted 2 is pretty special, and those are some. So there you go. And quick ones here for you. Tommy, do you think 2K25 will be on PS4? Yes. B Macadori, for 2K25, I hope to see a based NXT DLC pack. Me too. Ben Wilson says we still need to fix Money in the Bank in universe mode. Cash in still don't work. Yes, correct. Fix it. Wolf mode, smiley face. Smiley face. Javi says new championship belts? Question mark, question mark. Next year, not this year. They won't patch them in. New tag titles. And NXT North American Women's Championship, probably. And if we get those United States titles and Intercontinental Championships on the women's side, if they do introduce those this year, please do that, WWE. Then there is a chance we get them in 2K25. And that is how we talk to you. Let me talk to you. Thank you very much for talking to me and talking to you about everything. Click here. We got more 2K content coming at you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. See ya.